if you're looking for something a little different to do this weekend. Got a few ideas.
Tell me, baby.
I'm Dan Whitney for Weekend Earth. Coming up, we've got a great little adventure to share with you, along with the how-to, where to, and what to do for a weekend on the Earth.
Well, I love you in the morning, love you in the afternoon.
Today we're in Eisenhower Park in Milford, Connecticut. And even though it's a small park, it is a great place to birdwatch because there are a multitude of habitats here. I'm talking swamps, rivers, fields, woods, and each of them has its own diverse population of bird life. You are going to find something here. That is a great blue heron. This that I'm in is a hoop blind, and I am Alison Charles. Coming up, I'm going to show you in 3 easy steps how you can make one of these on your own. It's so inexpensive. And I'm also going to show you how you can take a pair of binoculars and make 2 sets of monoculars. You'll have to stay tuned to check it out.
I can't hang around here no more. I can't hang around here no more. I can't hang around here no more. Since it's time for me to go.
So here we have the hoop blind. It's a really easy construction. We got the fabric constructed from a circular pattern and a square pattern. An umbrella, that's easy to find. A tube, straps attached to the tube, and some gray tape. Now, why the hoop blind? Why do we need this? Well, 2 reasons. For one, when you're near water areas like a swamp, there's mosquitoes. Say you want to go smack one away. That's enough sound to scare the skittish birds away. So 1, it's concealing me, and 2, it's protecting me from all those bugs.
Birdwatching isn't only about sitting in a blind or offering yourself up as bait to all the bugs. Knowing how to find what you're looking for can turn this mostly stationary activity into an active one. A lot of these guys you can catch on the go. The slightest pause with an ear to the wind can be very rewarding. And even if you don't hear anything, it doesn't mean they're not there. Once you become familiar with their habits, their calls, and where they're most likely to be found, birdwatching can be as simple as a walk in the park. Jay Johnson is a licensed guide and naturalist. He's going to show Alison how to attract some of these birds with a little thing called pishing.
If you just watch in the lower branches that are around us,
Yeah.
when you pish, which is just
Pishing is an alarm call, an alert to awareness in bird talk. Easy for the birds because they don't have lips. You have to keep at this for several minutes at a time if you want results. But it does work, providing your lips don't numb up.
exactly.
I'm a good pisher.
You're a good pisher.
Okay, so when we were pishing,
Jay attracted a pair of
The
tufted
bird that was
titmouse, which he showed Alison how to
I heard
identify
it,
in
but
the
I don't
field
know what
guide.
it is. So he has yellow on his belly?
Well, it depends on what time of year. If it's coming into a spring plumage, yes.
No pack is complete without a quick reference field guide. It's lightweight, weatherproof, and essential if you want to know what it is you're looking at, or what's looking at you. I had spent several hours waiting on this hummingbird, and then he found me. Here it is again, but don't blink. This little guy was as curious about me as I was about him. On several occasions, he had come 3 to 4 feet away from my head, just buzzing around. On this one day, I have learned a great deal about hummingbirds, things I never knew before. They're very territorial. They're buzzing and chasing the goldfinch. There's several goldfinch that are around here, catbirds, a couple of cardinals, and other hummingbirds. There's 2 specific hummingbirds that have been buzzing everybody, chasing them out of this area. And this is quite a large area for birds. And it's just what I've learned this one day sitting here watching these guys. And that has its benefit as opposed to constant walking around. You can bring your coffee and snacks and just stay put. The birds and the bees aren't the only ones making music out here. This cicada bug is most likely the inspiration for the tambourine.
Whoa. It looks prehistoric.
Yeah.
A little nervous at first, the bug that is.
He's playing dead?
Yep.
He's playing dead.
Yep, he's playing dead.
Wow. Right into my face.
But like most animals and insects, after a moment they come to relax.
He's kind of cute.
Oh, cool.
So this area right here is basically the perfect spot to buy. You want to buy a hummingbird? Come here.
Actually, I've purchased many here.
Okay. Here we go. So this area here is like the perfect spot to find a hummingbird because we're at the edge of a field, edge of the woods, and there's lots of flowers. So if they're hungry, they're going to head there, right?
Absolutely.
If you want to find hummingbirds, look for the grove with the golden flowers.
This is jewelweed, which according to experts has medicinal properties, among which are apparently it is very effective at stopping the spread of and the effects of poison ivy. And I've also heard that it's good for mosquito bites or insect bites in general. And actually it's working pretty good. Once again, jewelweed.
Now, these aren't exotic creatures found on distant shores. They're found in our own backyard. All you got to do is look up or down to find them. And find them you will. A little visual aid and you're good to go. If you have a pair of binoculars that have been knocked out of alignment, Alison has a tip for you.
Now let's talk about these monoculars. Step one's real simple. Remove any screw where you see one. Next step, unscrew this. You see this little baby screw? Take that one out too. Now this is not the easy part. It's really tight, so you may need a pair of pliers to get this out. Got to twist with it, and there we go.
We discovered late in the game that this one required a little love tap and a pair of channel locks to just encourage it out of its groove. Now, because these were knocked out of alignment, they no longer operate as a functional pair of binoculars. But take the pin out and we now have 2 pair of monoculars. Of course, that's after we put each piece back together again as an individual unit. The most important thing to remember in taking something apart is to lay the parts and screws in the order in which you took them apart, because in this case, they'll be going back together in the reverse order. It's very important to make sure the lenses go back on the base they came off of. One side is going to get the floating mechanism. The other side you're going to have to manipulate with maybe a bolt or wire, something to just secure the cap to the base. But you still end up with 2 working pair of monoculars. Smoking. We got fire. I'm Dan Whitney for Weekend Earth. Join us again as we discover some ins and outs, go down the road and off for a weekend on the Earth.